But we're starting potentially with some aggression from Winthrop University. You know, look at this smoke to avoid this recon dart so they could fight back on middle. But there's already 4 players there to fight.
Well, could be some early action to get this kicked off, and yes, it will. Trades will favor that of Blue Otter on the offense. Barrier Mesh says, do not come, do not pass, do not collect $200. And an opportunity to get the spike on, taking a little long. Opportunity for Infiltrator!
Oh my goodness.
But the dart plus the shock dart leads to an eventual elimination. Ali, good freaking grab, but Zeke pops out, finds the kill, and Blue Otter take the pistol.
Love that he swings out on that for sure to be able to save that round for Blue Otter because it looked very doable with the shots that Infiltrator came through in. Now we have an opportunity to talk about these comps as well. So both of these teams very comfortable in their compositional picks for this map, and you're going to have to keep an eye open on what the win condition is going to be for Blue Otter. Staying as a group, fighting as a group, using a deadlock to be quite aggressive. But if you want to slow down the game a little bit more because you are also playing against a double Senti on the other side of Blue Otter, I think the top of their priority list would waste out that utility from Infiltrator as well. So you don't allow these split retakes to happen with good value for the side of Winthrop.
Yeah.
Where you don't have those big flashes on your side here for Blue Water. So you're already seeing it here much slower as you could tell. A recon to find information. Fair's always finding literally fair game, moving up towards middle, finding great timings as he's done in the past. Remember that game against Shopfire Rebellion Black? He was just running up mid every single time and finding great positioning against his opponents. And they're reading it correctly here. I mean, yeah. The spike's a little bit further out, but they're in a prime position to converge into the B site with the solo moves.
The observers know what I'm about to say. Oh, moves is always good for one of the sheriff. He was in there, but not like swimwear. So that's going to lead to a B execute. And for Winthrop, very much so could be a kumbaya, all hold hands into the dark abyss of the spike detonation. But there's a chance, of course, with the B plant to possibly find exits. Never know.
So when it's in there like swimwear, are you talking about like huge wedgies? Because that's not comfortable at all.
Yeah, correct.
That's definitely not a comfortable position there for moves. So definitely he was in like swimwear because he was very comfortable.
You have to know, like, when you experience like a cannonball from like 10 feet up, like, you know how your swim trunks just kind of like they get held by the water. It's just, yeah, it's in there like swimwear.
If I did that, I'd probably empty half the pool. I cause ripples in my cannonballs.
I like that. Not a true cannonball if you don't create some sort of weight effect. Well, there's a little bit of a battle here on the exit through B main. Blue Otter saying not interested. We'll run away. One more shock dart from Bob, who actually may feel like giving this a bit of a go. Oh, not like this. Oh, mercy. Well, at least there's no eliminations tallied on either side.
That's definitely the biggest thing. Bob not dying to any of the players is actually a good thing for her and for the team as well. But you definitely see the idea they're trying to do similar things to Winthrop University as Winthrop University did in the previous map, rather, is making sure that the ult orbs are coming into your favor here on the attack side, already almost halfway to hers, unless she was able to get more picks there on that side. If not, I liked that the last player there from Winthrop just rushed down towards spawn because you definitely didn't want to stay alive. Now you're going with the glass cannon, though. Interesting purchase on the side of Winthrop. Here. This is only a bonus round for Blue Water and a heavy investment to come through. You're going to have to be clean with this shot.
Well, it hits. Fireball, the first one to fall, makes the potential post plant a little bit lopsided, or at least a little bit more vulnerable. Up and over. Here comes Fair, but Governor is not. Whoa! I was not really dissuaded by that little pushover, but has a little bit of trouble keeping their balance on the curb. That's enough for the spike to make its way on. Possible post plant that could look pretty decent. You got good weapons here if you're looking at it from Blue's perspective.
Yeah, and this is why I'm saying it's difficult right now in a win con for Blue Water is to waste the utility from Infiltrator. Because he bought the op, he's got nothing left and available for the retake for the site. So the biggest thing they have is a paranoia, which is why Glyph is moving all the way towards market to try to get value off the scale back from the site.
So I believe has been seen on that crossover towards logs. Infiltrator will connect. Bob, lineup. Oh, there's one. Hoping that he's able to catch the outside of the rail. That will work for a second. Smoke, though, is an issue. Grab net, a bigger one. And Glyph is still holding the cross, but no, surely not. These walls have to be made out of something besides paper. And it looks like finally, Glyph... Rob's like, get out of my face! But the defuse comes through, and Winthrop will take the round.
She still had some nice shots, though, towards that spawn. Just a jiggle wall bang to just get those static players that were just waiting for the full peak or spot her elbow. And she had 2 very clean wall bangs in the very beginning, but unfortunately couldn't get that third one to try to muster up to clutch that 1v2 towards the end. Look at these shots. They even played the high-low on that one as well, and she just followed the bullet tracers from Moobs. That's the second time that Moobs is playing an angle here out in the open towards spawn and just gets decimated.
Well, big round here. Quick.
There's going mid again.
Through mid. Loving it. Hearing it.
I mean, there's no camera to look back towards that side. I was going to say, Winthrop has to start moving to try to fight info ASAP. Oh, fair dodges a drone. He's in a prime spot here to cut rotates on spawn.
Well, the reveal has Winthrop kind of figuring out how they want to set up this defense around A. Oh, Infiltrator, are you going to give it to us? No. Thinking about maybe possibly getting a little bit of a peek while that barrier mesh is still holding some integrity. But meanwhile, this is interesting. Winthrop looking to possibly reframe an attack on this hit through mid by triple stacking it. Good recon. Fair's in trouble. Does actually stay away from the grab, but not away from the spam. Fireball, not able to do anything to try to counteract that. And Winthrop have the numbers 5v3.
I was going to say they were in such a good position to start rotating the map to get value off the insert that Fair had in M3.
30 seconds left.
Now it's Fireball that has that opportunity, and Moves only has a judge to work with. So they could do it again. You have to start moving towards B main, pop that camera open, force a rotate across. It's not even being pinged.
Whoa, Governor just a little pirouette off the top of the cistern. But okay, okay. No time. Well, actually, yes, there is time. Very close, just half a second remaining, and Infiltrator is all of a sudden from 5v3 and a 1v3.
Just keep taking a shift. I got nothing else to say.
I know it.
They didn't expect the second insert somehow. They did a great job denying the first 2 players moving up towards Pizza. And again, I feel that this would have been doable for Blue Water to maybe not even lose any players in the process, but you needed somebody to step up to the plate, and it's Fireball up this time playing as a KJ and gets a 4K.
Good shout from our ops team getting involved in the pizza conversation. Yep, I see you. Infiltrator just trying to keep their life, and a Guardian. We'll do so.
Okay, how about this?
Hit me.
So you're old school like me. So do you like McCain Pizza Pockets or do you like Pillsbury Pizza Pops?
I don't know what either of those things are. I know, like, you got Hot Pockets that have the pizza filling, which I did, but like, it was a pizza Hot Pocket. It wasn't. What was the brand you said?
So it was McCain Pizza Pockets or Pillsbury Pizza Pops. Maybe it's a Canadian thing again.
That has to be a Canadian thing. Do you guys have pizza pockets with poutine in it or what?
No, but it's just the Pillsbury Pizza Pops just uses like the Pillsbury dough, and it's just so much better than the McCain Pizza Pockets.
Ah, man, I've never heard of those brands. All I know is the Hot Pocket brand.
Hot Pocket is newer. Hot Pocket's newer.
Newer? Wait, Hot Pockets had to have come out in like the late 1990s. What do you think came first?
It's still later.
Or early 2000s. What do you think came first, the toaster strudel or the Hot Pocket?
The toaster strudel.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Great
pizza snack that keeps you coming back. McCain Elio's Pizza Pockets. No?
No, dude, just Hot Pockets. That's the one.
I know that one, but that's newer. I'm sure the kids in the chat will know Hot Pockets more than Pizza Pockets.
Hot Pockets were, okay, this might change your perspective. Hot Pockets were invented in 1983. So do you still think toasters? Do you think toaster strudels were
That was before I was born somehow.
Same. Okay,
hold on. We're gonna paranoia flush into the A main though.
Okay,
there's not too many players holding on that side, and it's only Ali.
Well, that'll work.
Goodbye.
Grab net to counter. Hunter's Fury blindly tossed out here, but Infiltrator takes some damage. Will be eliminated. Annihilation blindly tossed towards tree. Not going to connect and gives Ali a chance, but no, not going to be able to take advantage of that. Long flank on the way. Alarm bot will read this, and Winthrop on pistols will, well, be in a difficult spot.
Yeah. And a timeout's just to focus on the next round anyways. So it was a nice attempt, though. Ali did a lot of things on his own. Another pick would have had the Annihilation too, which maybe would have given him a fighting chance, but now it's just trying to find that damage. Hey, that's you missed your cue.
I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to jinx it. I had to hold my breath on that one. All right. So 1983 is what I said for Hot Pockets. Do you think toaster strudels were before or after that, Vansili? I'll give you a hint. It's close. It's really close.
It has to be after now.
It is after 1985.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And somehow it doesn't make any of us feel old because we were all not born then.
That was 40 years ago, almost to the
Actually, no, I was born in 85. Damn it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I was already born in 85.
That's tough. All right, let's get into it. Hunter's Fury out early here for the defense, trying to find some connection over towards Tree, but Fair has gotten through. Is Infiltrator going to expect this? No, maybe not. God. And now all of a sudden Governor has to respond with the trade and will. So keeps the defense at least in the round 4v4.
There's some good stalls coming through here with the attack to lockdown. All a perfect bait here for Zeke to get those 2 kills. You got to save now at this point.
Yeah, it feels that way. Man, tough moment there. You think you're going to get 1 and the the lockdown, but instead it's Zeke for 2, bodyguarding not just the position, but also the lockdown in particular. Neural theft could be committed to. Oh, the recon bolt does not get taken out, and you see the instant consequence. Bob says, not so fast. Plus extra shock darts to push moves off, which will commit the operator to the save.
Which is a good thing here for the son of Winthrop University. That said, though, I guess the other game plan that you have for Blue Water when we talked about, well, I guess they still scaled very, very quickly on their end, too, on the attack. They don't really want to play the slower pacing as they usually do. If they do, it's like Fair moving in towards that mid side, but that split towards A was very, very aggressive, and it's once again Fair at the tip of the spear, just finding great timings. He's catching players off the rotate, catches even Infiltrator off guard, can't even react with the operator too. And I guess that's another nice little game plan, just to make sure that you just go face forward and find those timings from Fair, just like he kind of did on the attack side on that previous round when he was playing that Neon. So
yeah,
Winthrop, that timeout, there was some sort of conversation to get something done, and unfortunately it wasn't good enough. The op for Infiltrator forced that TP out, and he just caught off the rotate after.
This was so big from Zeke to be able to bodyguard. And yeah, there's the lineup. Actually, we had a really good third-person view of that. And then, yeah, missing the recon bolt, instant punish. So Blue Otter off to the races here on offense. And it's weird because, like, a lot of these rounds have been tight. Of course, living rent-free is that 5v3 that Winthrop wasn't able to convert, but...
Yeah. It is definitely getting very brawly on both sides.
Yeah.
It could have been a different story for sure if Fireball didn't drop those 4 players previously, but a little bit of a change of a pace. Trying to go for a little bit of jiggle peek and double swing here from the side of B main, but it's still Fair at that point. I don't think you're going to try to drone because you have 0 spacing done so far on the side of Blue Water.
Well, that just confirms the paranoia can be sent. Do they expect a second, though? What do we say about moves? Oh, goodness. Oh, that's so good for moves. Problem is, Fair is just a touch better. Supply of support from Zoe just to make sure that Fair can stay alive. And that'll be the round. And Infiltrator will once again just kind of hang out and, well, maybe have an opportunity to get the 1v1 against Bob.
I think that's the main thing, and it's smart for him. Usually in this scenario, he's like, why aren't you falling back and save your weapon? I think he's just trying to close one lane to guarantee at least that he's not going to get shot from 2 different angles, right? So getting this pick first is actually quite huge. I don't think you can go for this. You got Dimensional Drift and 2 Flash, but there's no way.
No, surely not. Unless. Oh
my God.
So unless there's a little bit of spam there, but no, not to happen.
Just threw smoke, a random tap too. I wonder if it's because of the decoy. Because the decoy went up and just got stuck into the wall. And then you just shot towards that direction and suddenly Infiltrator is just behind that. some good damage done at least. But man, that should have been the op saving to the next round, because if I remember correctly, he had under 2K going into this round. Okay, he still has enough. Got it purchased, looks like, by Ali.
A weapon's a weapon, right? Unless, oh, fair. Tried to go old school. It's a little day one ascent trick. Not gonna work. Oh, what a prediction of this grab. Zoe's in some trouble, but we'll be able to get some separation and clear the nuisance of the crouch only. One-way cyber cage, not gonna work out after the initial tag, and everything will reset 5v4.
Exactly, that's how you want to play it as well on the attack side when you're playing it slow. Wasting out the Sentinel utility. So you're waiting for the next grab net, to refresh. Ali still has the wall to work with, so for the side of Winthrop University, he could still play quite slowly. He throws it now at the minute mark, and that's even going to waste the clock down even more. Yes, you broke a trip towards B, but with the trip still up towards middle and this wall still up towards the A side, they still have good map control and understanding of where opponents could be scaling from for now.
No bullet left behind right there for Zoe. And is this going to try to create a little bit more noise to keep the focus onto A? Well, maybe not. Trying to set up a dark cover for this execute for blue. There it goes to market. Owl drone to scout. Free play up towards switch. Now it just comes down to how do you clear out the back side of the B site. Paranoia, that's how. From the shadows to scout it. Fireball for the opener. Moves, keeping their lives. Time is becoming an issue, but the trade is there. Should allow for the plant. Dimensional drift comes through. Annihilation is out. Oh, but it just whiffs. Ali now, their turn. Also comes up, it looks to be a bit short. As Glyph will clear out front side market. Hunter's Fury to put a bit of a pause to this. 2v2 now.
Shot done.
In the reset, coming back forward. Paranoia still being held on to, and Glyph will use that to help break down the split focus. Winthrop will get their second. Woo, crazy retake.
Yeah. Ended up being pretty good there on the side of Winthrop for the retake, but I'd like to say that Blue Otter played that pretty decently. By breaking that wall up towards tree side, you also played a very slow game, so you force out both TPs where Infiltrate could not fast TP and help out the team towards that B site. But that little extra thing that was missing to maybe try to force rotates that could maybe get value of where Zolsol, was setting up here towards that catwalk side to sell that fake, was breaking that trip on middle. So that maybe he keep those players at bay, maybe cut those rotates when things come across. But as nobody was really showing face after you break that wall, and you felt like you were on a time crunch, you just tried to go for the full exec right after, but it was beautifully held towards the end here by, held well enough towards that back of the site, but it was on that retake. Starting with the Infiltrator ult that reel out here, Winthrop University to battle through and win that round in the end.
Well, big round. Is there an opportunity to turn this into some little bit of momentum, just to try to get this half a little bit more neutral? I mean, this has been a really hot start for Blue.
Yeah.
And a map that both teams have had a lot of time playing on. You would assume this would be a pretty neutral battleground, but up until the last couple of rounds, it really has just been the Blue Otter show. So, a couple to play. Weapons are going to be fine. Operator Odin in the mix for the first time here for Governor. Keep an eye on that.
You're definitely sitting comfortably here for Blue Otter to play double Senti on the attack side. And, you know, it's your map pick, so naturally the other double Senti comp wants to play on defense first, and you're still able to pull up 6 rounds. So you're in a really good spot. If Winthrop University could start stringing these rounds back in, just like just like they did on that previous map, they might have a chance, or how Blue Water did, rather.
Yeah. Fair trying for the knives. Does get tagged up down to critical health. Infiltrator also sees a bit of a shoulder. That has the focus for Governor a bit open, as Infiltrator will now switch the op around for a rifle. Spike will be planted. Retake tools, not a lot.
No. We just see what the recon's at. Recon flash would be the biggest thing to start the rotate back, because Infiltrator doesn't have flash to go through with it. It's in 5 seconds.
Paranoia is out, moves, finds the opener, plus a second, unbelievable. Now it's just down to trying to fish Bob out from underneath. There's the reveal, there's the last shots on the Odin. And it's all onto Fireball, who is away from where this post plant was set up at. And that was just, we didn't really get to see much of it, but Moobs finds 2 all over the site just by walking up. The recon wasn't even ready yet.
Yeah. I think it comes down to that as well. When you don't want to be too predictable to say, hey, our recon's going to be up, we're going to flash retake, just get ready for it. You kind of just want to have some players kind of like bait themselves out so that you could get value. He could find out where the players could be. The flash could get a lot more value. The recon dart will then get value on top of that as well. But he just manages to get 2 picks on his own. They're very nicely done by Moobs, holding, anchoring on the B side, playing retake on the A side as well, trying to get redemption from the first half. From the first map, rather, after losing 6-13. Or winning 6-13, rather.
Well, this battle with the op is allowing a little bit more space and freedom, it feels like, for the defense to move around. They're enjoying that. But this is new. Force hit over towards Tree. Glyph gonna try to contest this early with the paranoia. Offense will go first. Nice shot from Infiltrator. Still kind of out in the open as a trade will come through onto the site itself, but no one is looking to Infiltrator's direction. Hello? Comms? Zoe stuck now in Tree. Reveal will come through. Infiltrator still on a bit of a corner. Secondary teleport will get Zoe out of there, but that was a messy approach, and the follow-up peek will get punished.
Didn't even get the spike on the way out either, so that's the spike down still on Tree. Great opping being done here by Infiltrator. And yeah, you're right. Nobody looked towards that side because I think we're focusing on the smoke coming out instead.
1 enemy remaining.
Wow. That fell apart quickly.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, now the shots are definitely hitting on the side of Infiltrator here with the operator. That said, though, if anything, on how they played that, I have to commend how Winthrop moved around that map on the defensive side. As soon as Infiltrator misses that first shot and gets information from Pizza and forces to TP out, you already have Governor droning up to see if anybody's scaling towards that side. Middle is open. You're getting the players now procced up and ready here for a Tree side hit. You already have long A control from the side of Ali, and then you have this Glyph paranoia that comes towards Tree. So now you have perfect stalls on both ends. You allow now Winthrop University to converge. You waste out utility from Blue Water when they were trying to go for the full exec towards the A site, and now they're just pinned in that spot. It was just very, very nicely orchestrated on how they manipulated the map on their side on defense, actually. So very much starting this comeback.
Yeah, that's just one of those, maybe you're just looking at that from Fair and saying they just don't expect that aggressive angle to be taken by Infiltrator, just trying to focus on that fight through the door. But that felt a little too easy for Infiltrator right there.
Yeah.
So 6-4, economy's still okay for Blue Otter. Enough to purchase, obviously, and they're going to get close to, well, depending on how the round goes, maybe finding things like a Hunter's Fury, a lockdown, or an Annihilator before the half comes to a close. Same can be said on the other side, but man, Fair has really found the wrong end of this operator in a couple of rounds now.
I think they've realized that too. The amount of times that Fair goes on a solo mission for mid Tree side, they really want to try to punish that.
Yikes.
You do no wrong.
Well, I was about to say, man, this is one of those situations that, like, the op connects and the whole round just falls apart for Blue Otter. This does not look like the first 6 rounds, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Definitely looks like a fruitful timeout out of Winthrop University.
Here.
Very reminiscent of Lotus once again. And as much as I talked about Infiltrator not landing shots on that raise previously on that last map, he's in the right places at the right time every single time. As soon as he started this Euro defensive op. Naturally took a couple of rounds and a timeout, but you're seeing the results now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, this is not, it's not news, but you get the economy to purchase an operator and a node, and then the defense starts to find a lot more success. Oh, hello. Oh, goodbye. I was about to say double op? No, not happening. That'd be sick. Could be a possible trap play here. Ooh. Some aggression coming through. Glyph, are you joking? Just runs up and finds one. GrabNet trying to lock him into place. Not going to work out. Hunter's Fury also there, and Fair gets crossed up. Oh, mercy. So now you're into what looks to be a 6-6 half in the blink of an eye. Annihilation will work. They know Fireball's sitting behind the crates, and that was, after what looked to be a very polished 6-2 count for Blue Otter, Those last 4 rounds couldn't have been more opposite. Winthrop just
Switching
took it
sides.
over and dominated.
And so clean, too. And it looks like it was something drawn out for Blue Water to just try to smash into the A side and disrespect the deadlock. But when you have a Hunter's Fury available that's not accounted for, that had great support coming out from Governor, there was nothing there that that Blue Water could really do coming through the one-way smoke that was being thrown on defense. And that's, again, the disadvantage that you have on pulling out this composition for the side of Blue Water. The biggest flash that you have is going to be a Paranoia. So if you can't really go for a KO flash or a Yoru flash through these smokes, then you're kind of just left standing. And those 2 players converging towards that side just went for a free stroll and free kills. Now they tied up the game.
Yep. Ooh, all right. Here we go, more action. Blue Water trying to set something up over towards A long. Nothing home. Well, there's someone home, but the door's locked. No contact for Winthrop, so they'll continue on forward with this 4-1 split. A little bit of noise being made by Moobs, and on a solo mission, he provides one, and maybe has a chance at more. Looked like there's a battle between him and Fireball there for a moment, but the barrier mesh will be destroyed, and Winthrop will try to make their way onto A.
Still full HP too, and they have util for the full exec deadlock. Blocks out the lane towards tree.
Yeah, it's just perfect breakdown. Nowhere to go here. Fireball, oh, okay. 2 for them, makes this more manageable to the 2v2. Recon dart up and open, and that's gonna be enough for the double team to come out and leave Zoe by themselves, 1v2, trying to play this from long, and Governor may get blindsided or maybe finds the timing. Glyph now gonna reset, just backing away, respecting the space, trying to play with the new ally, which is the clock. Dark cover will make this a little bit more difficult for Zoe to work through. And a couple of spam shots now has Glyph and a massive advantage. Just don't get headshot and you're gonna be okay. Off the reload, Zoe stuck in no man's land. Winthrop take the second half pistol.
Very nice this time around here, and Glyph didn't decide to go for the drop smoke just in case the timing did come through here for Zolstol, that he already made it through towards that main side and he would have been caught off guard. So he really just wanted to play, hey, my opponent's going to run through the smoke, I'm going to try to pick him off, and does so perfectly. Looks like Zolstol unfortunately ran out of bullets too. I think before going into A main had 4 bullets left. So he had to be quite clean on the shots, and unfortunately wasn't. Now carrying 3 Bulldogs and a Guardian within the next round. And it's even Moobs being selfless. He bought one of those weapons for his teammates so he could just watch his camera the whole time. So his job is just to find information on anybody pushing down towards B, not really watching middle, while the rest are playing middle to try to just punish Fair once again.
Take flight.
Well, here's an opportunity. Fair. Oh, good help for Infiltrator, and Governor's going to let him know, not that he really had much to do with that. A nice idea from Fair, but a first blood goes the way of Winthrop, who now have weapons and numbers.
I think it just play as a group. I don't think there's really anything that Zeke could do. I don't think you want to waste your walls in the first place, so smart for him to just swing out and die. I think that's fine. Try to play into the next round. I mean, you had such a good lead in the very beginning at 6-2 half. There's still a lot of Valorant left to be played here on this map, especially now that you have the defensive side. So don't waste your util out too early. Move that into the next round. Focus on what's next. You now know, at least with how the round just went through, of what Winthrop University's carrying going to the next round, especially if it's a flawless. They understand that there's a Bulldog. They saw that Governor had a Guardian when he was fighting towards that side too against Fair. So they could think how they want to position themselves a little bit better here for the next round.
Fireball will find a couple again. Goodness. But Zoe is going to try to play for exits with the Bucky. Oh, good discipline. Nope, and now they're like, well, we know what he's got. And they're going to try to isolate best they can. Catch yourself a corner at Gelato. Oh, wow, that's a chunky Bucky shot, but doesn't make a difference. Governor still finds the win, and Winthrop will have, again, a strong bonus. But the thing is, that's 2 plants now in the last 2 rounds. They could really bring a little bit more to the table than you would expect.
And if I'm Winthrop University, I still want to try to focus towards a split on A side. Focus on middle, focus on A, because with the shots that Fireball has been carrying from the pistol round with the Sheriff to this round with the Sheriff too, I think he's pretty much warmed up here to do his job towards his B-side anchor. So Winthrop seems like that's the case. Once again, Moobs just watching the pushes on both extremities on middle and left extremity. While the rest are still carrying these Bulldogs. Looks like they wanted to bring an Outlaw first, but they want to stay as a group and fight.
Quick hit, moving their way through. Paranoia to clear out A main. Barrier mesh is forced out. Let you at home decide if you think that's value for one side or the other or not. Barrier mesh destroyed. So now you look over to kind of Moobs' direction. Does he try to sneak something into tree with all this noise being made at A main? Thinking about it, but Zeke will have their attention turned back over as the spike will reverse the play back over to B.
Nor was happening here. Bob doesn't have any shock darts left, so I think she may have broke all of Moobs' utility at the very beginning too. So you're now forcing the players to scale a lot more slowly back into B side main. I mean, this is still going to be quite slow. You're seeing the insert and how they're moving around the map for Winthrop. Right now, if Moobs can get an opener on tree, this is an easy smoke back the middle to cross back towards A site. If not, you're maximizing information now with the dimensional drift.
And you've already broken some of the Killjoy utility. Fireball just trying to spam, hope and pray that something will connect. Instead, it's fair for the first blood. But the dimensional drift has gained entry. Moves on the corner, knows there's a battle here, and Fair's able to lock that in for their second. So now it's down to how does Winthrop hold this post plan, and the answer is they may not be able to. Infiltrator, right click with the Bulldog, not going to connect. And it's on to Glyph. 1 versus 5. Yep, that's about how you'd expect that to go. Clean for Blue Otter.
That's what I mentioned before, right? If you're able to just save your econ and have a much cleaner buy going into this one as well, knowing there's still a lot of Valorant left to be played in this half, I mean, this is the result you get towards the end. A nice flawless, you're now carrying over 3,000 credits across the board as well. But not only that, they found good timings on these fights against Winthrop. I think there was 3 individual scenarios where a player got caught off guard. Fair swinging out the smoke in the first place, right over here. Then you have Moobs that still was making so much noise against Pharaoh as he dropped down from Catwalk. All of that information was already given. And then the last one, you're trying to find a tucked-in corner just before the smoke dissipates. And then you're just caught out in the open, knife in hand, picked off, and it doesn't render it easy for you to hold a pulse plan for Winthrop University.
Well, full purchase here for both teams. The lockdown for the defense of Blue Otter has been earned. And, whoa, Blue Otter are stacking A. Sensors to play off of for Bob. That's it.
It's very interesting for sure. Because now even the KJ is not really set up towards tree where you want to play the retake. So they're just looking for angles to fight.
Yeah. Playing retake for B with the lockdown, you'd think, too?
Yeah, I think if anything, right now what they're trying to do is Zeke is going to be the first point of contact. And as soon as they start scaling up, if a turret spots them, then you have to swing out from Fair. Never mind, Fair just doesn't care.
And Glyph says, I also don't care. I'm out of the... Whoa!
Are you sure?
Yeah, I thought he didn't care, but apparently he cares a little bit. Back up and over. Hi, how are you? Teleport for Infiltrator shut down. No trade for Ollie, not as of yet. Grab net, sentry turret, causing a bit of a mess, but still Fireball back to site dealt with, and this is not how this was supposed to go for Blue Otter.
One enemy remaining.
Here comes the teleport back onto the site.
Left.
Spike will be planted, and yeah, I mean, the Blue Otter were set up perfectly for that, but Glyph finds the opener at long, and everything else just falls apart.
They got antsy. That's
Yeah.
basically it. Because right now, again, you're playing a lockdown and you're playing it behind generator. So if your teammates are already falling one by one by pushing up towards A main and dying, and then you can't really hold the anchor towards the tree because you already lost your next teammate to be able to swing off you to go for these trades, well, you're unfortunately useless in the back of the site, and you can't even play the game. You can't even play your util. And unfortunately, it just allows your Winthrop University to just flood the way that it did. Look at the X's and look at the positions that you currently have here. So many scenarios of different 3 versus 1s, if not 4 versus 2s, when Winthrop were scaling towards that site on A. So just a little bit unfortunate in terms of indecisions by lack of information in the beginning of these rounds here for Blue Otter on that previous round.
Well, on to the next. Full arsenal still in hand for Blue Otter. Guardian for Bob. Governor's going to get the orb to get him the Hunter's Fury. And, ooh. A window has been opened for Fair. Spike is rotating. Recon dart destroyed. Fair is still holding.
Oh, he's gonna find a bad timing, isn't he?
Or a great timing. That's the spike carrier down, and you do have enough help here to possibly keep yourself up and kicking. Cliff not able to find the trade. And the defensive lockdown was called there. It may not make a difference. Let's say the defensive lockdown feels over-invested, but Fair puts the round pretty much out of question, at least so you would think. Still an annihilation available for Ollie, though, so if you can get a plant, you've got some post-plant security with that.
Yeah, they have to group up a little bit more quickly, though. If not, right now you're just trying to find timings because Ali's already inserted, right? So he's got to make a play while the other two are grouping up towards this A side, towards the catwalk. Sorry.
Oh. A crash will make its way out. Ollie will drop. Zoe, I don't believe, has seen Infiltrator on the cross, but it may not matter. With
Yeah,
17 seconds on the clock. Yeah, it's going to be just a hang and hold, it looks like.
I even wonder, like, how Governor got picked off. I'm pretty sure you should be able to hear rotates, right, from that spot, I would assume.
You would assume,
especially that it's pinged there.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just extra patience from Fair works out for him.
Sixth sense, but if not, the first round here for Winthrop University, that's actually a huge gap that was exploited when we were just talking about how good they were on defensive rounds, on how they're moving around the map back and forth here on the attack. Now not playing a single position on middle that previous round. Fair, again, goes on a stroll. And he's always going to attempt for these type of hero plays because he's just literally playing like a rank game. If nobody's going to challenge him at these spots, well, he's going to find those timings and openings. And if people want to challenge them, well, he has enough aim to try to win and try to escape because he is playing the jet. Now they want to focus on that, though.
Yep.
Two towards the tiles. Oh, my God. He's moving down.
Oh,
that's
what
jokes.
Absolutely beautiful from the shadows from Glyph. Followed up by Zoe, who's going to put the pressure on. Ollie for the first. Fireball responds. Annihilation bounces over and catches Fireball. So look at the around the world here. Can they save Fireball before he gets captured fully? No, not quite. Footsteps are coming through. Zeke not maybe in a position to hear this, but is, figuring that this could be a play.
This is a round of Valorant if I haven't seen one, huh? I mean, Zeke still has good timing, has grab net, could stall. Oh no, he's gonna swing.
Oh, the first one's clean. Grab net out. Responded to, though, by Ollie. And yeah, Infiltrator will get the lockdown in. So now it's up to Fair and Zoe, playing from opposite sides of the A site. Post-plant setup, largely huddled together. Moobs is responsible for the defensive spawn. Infiltrator will be the last man standing if things get crazy. And there's still a question if all three players are actually on site, it looks like right now. So here comes the first point of contact.
One enemy remaining.
So it gets traded. There goes the barrier. And no, Infiltrator a little high-low with Ali will find the kill, and that'll be now 10-8 Winthrop past the double-digit mark.
I mean, fair as well for, not fair the player, but fair for Zeke to be able to do what he did. Again, he finds that perfect timing, already hears that there's nobody moving in towards that B site, so he's trying to stall as much as he could. Getting that first kill and even got a grab net onto Ali towards that right side of dice, so he did his fair, I'm going to keep saying fair and we get pissed off. He did his job, but there's just too much util for Winthrop University on the actual execution again, because they don't have to waste a lot of that util when they're scaling up on the map like they are on the attack side either. Look at how they're playing right now. Three-man contact, walk up, keep most of Ali's utility for the actual hit.
Yep.
Drone still available here for getting information for Infiltrator, potentially get this tree control.
This is a very critical round for Blue Otter. And Fair will find first blood with the operator through mid. I was about to say, if they lose this round, they will likely be on a pretty heavy save. And you don't want to be doing that, looking at an 11-8 tally. So, very critical one for Blue Otter. The threat of glass, maybe not fully red. There's the flash. Zeke able to read the gate crash. That's huge. Annihilation comes out. That'll pull in one. But from the middle of the map, Cliff able to find the kill. I'll be able to save a life, and Winthrop are on site. Nearby is Fireball. But is there a chance for them to stop the plant? Ooh, finds one.
The big flank.
And a second shot from Fair hits. So it's just down to Governor with the decision to be made. Spike in hand. And it's going to just kill the noise and create a little bit of doubt, trying to isolate a 1v1. Not going to happen. And that critical round for Blue Water gets past the finish line.
And the first time here that Blue Water brings out an operator for Fair. The other times you saw him walking down towards middle with a Vandal, the dash down towards Gelato with a trap play that forced a TP out of Glyph a couple of rounds ago. And this time he stays anchored up with an op and he gets great value out of it. Moves even going for the hero play to try to scale up, thinking he has the timing because he hasn't seen Fair at the very beginning. And that might change the game plan now for Winthrop University moving into this next round. Look at them even all avoiding middle for now. Focusing on extremities, all 5 players. 2 working on the B side, 3 over towards A. It is an eco round, trying to get these orbs up.
I know exactly.
Oh, moves good for 1, always. Nearly always. So as long as I don't talk about it, he's good for 1.
Say in retrospect.
I'm here for that. Makes me look somewhat smart. But good numbers advantage. Hunter's Fury could be critical here to try to open up a little bit more space towards B, especially with moves already establishing the threat and keeping the focus of Fair at mid. So this is really all on what Fireball can find. And really outside of the one moment we caught on camera in 4K, he's been good.
Almost feels like we were premature, though, to throw the neural threat for moves. Because the 2 pings to get information, and then they just stopped. And right now, you really didn't get infiltrate on the kill, so he couldn't really grab the orb to get the ult. That comes down to just try to get something with the Hunter's Fury on the exit, I'm assuming here.
Off shot comes out a little bit wide. Fair trying to avoid the grab net. Second shot, not going to connect. And Infiltrator finds the 1v1 on site. Are you joking? Hunter's Fury to block off Market. Moves with the knife will work, and then he gets the operator. Who is this man? Whose man's is this? Getting it done with every form of weapon in here in Valorant. Pistol, knife, op.
Spike planted.
And this is a thrifty round that's got Zeke. I 1v5, and Glyph finds the timing to save a life. What a round for Winthrop.
Staring at moves, too, to try to get the salvage the op, too, to try to run away with it. And thankfully, as you've just mentioned, a little bit of a save there from the players coming back from that B site. And yeah, definitely a timeout needed this time around. We're almost looking at a back and forth here in the second half, looking at Tanjiro's kimono.
30 seconds left.
Dude,
That's silly.
it's all left clicks on top of that. All left click kills.
What a time to be alive.
Boob's got to change his name to Pex, man. That's so manly the way he's playing.
Look at my Terry Crews out there. Well, Blue Otter, they're going to understand the severity of the situation here after dropping that thrifty. It feels like force buy or bust right now with the scattered economy that they've got. I mean, 9-12 isn't the worst case scenario, but the problem is like you don't have the ultimates that you want. So,
yeah, Fair's too far away from Blade Storms too. I think you're calling it perfectly. If this comes down to a sort of a hero buy or a force buy, then you have to go for some sort of a trap play. But they're thinking differently right now. It makes sense. You remember, Fireballips has been quite pristine in terms of his shots with lore weapons in these scenarios, and he's getting good value out of it. So they're going to leverage him to be the last anchor towards this B site, while the rest are just going to try to find their one-offs here with the sheriffs that they have. And if he needs to go for a save in the next round and play a sheriff, he's fine in the gun round too. So
yeah,
I respect that.
Over there.
Opening shot lands though. Makes this more difficult. Yeah. Patience is a virtue. Winthrop are not challenging anything. Just going to keep the numbers here. Wait for some extra utility to come through.
Oh, even a dart doesn't get the pings here towards main. All three of them can start walking back here into B. Turret, yeah, it's going to spot them, but look at the other two still anchoring up on the right side of the A site. These guys are still looking to finish somewhere, potentially towards the A site, depending what they see here towards B.
You also hear the Vandal, and that might be enough for Winthrop to say, let's not even bother risking it. 43 seconds on the clock. They have not felt anything out over towards A, but the job that they've been trying to do is done. They've gotten Blue Otter to rotate fully, and now a chance to stop the rotation back through mid-map. At least put a pause to it. Dark cover up top. Yep, beautiful. Should be enough for Winthrop to just push their way in. That's awkward. That just hit off the back of the decoy? Hello?
And netted themselves. Nice. We'll take that.
But here we go. Fireball. That works for the first, but the problem is everyone else only has pistols.
Enemy remaining.
So just on to Bob.
Seconds left.
Maybe you can collect that Vandal up top, but not likely. And it's going to be Winthrop on match point.
Do some damage of these. One kill and a death, 2 kills. Get that Hunter's Fury up for the next round. She has to go for some sort of a play here. Be meticulous to at least clear out all the angles so she could isolate some fights. And oh, unlucky.
Revealing area.
Move back out, and there is a camera now watching you.
Well, you called it. One tap and a death would get the Hunter's Fury.
There it is. Check mark.
Okay. So you've got that to work with, but is it going to be enough? Because the Dimensional Drift is ready, the Annihilation is ready, and Winthrop have bank to play with, even if they do drop this round.
Here.
Thing is, Winthrop has rounds to play with too. 3 chances to even close that map, and we're just talking about the amount of respect that was given this time around. Winthrop University, knowing that they're playing on an anti-eco, just stayed put towards that spawn. And then players are flushing out. They punish them one by one. Once they realize here at the minute mark, okay, well, nobody's really making a mistake anymore or forcing themselves out. Let's try to move in as a group. And he played it perfectly here to just gather up towards the A site for that plant. But now let's see what that, oh, I mean, there was an attempt. Recon Dart with the Hunter's Fury. But you're seeing that the 2 players that were going to avoid the Hunter's Fury is an Omen and a Yoru that could just TP away.
Yep. Oh, stop it, dude. Oof. Fair has been getting the business the last couple of rounds. So 5v4, Spike going to be left over towards the backside at B main. Barrier mesh has been placed. And that's just trying to give some space for Blue Otter to back off and reset this defense a touch, but it's not good news right now for Blue Otter.
Yeah, and I think the thing is you have to keep Bob alive towards that spawn so you can support on both sides with Hunter's Fury. Oh, okay, blind ult.
That works. May have been a tag actually on the glyph there from the dart before that. Regardless,
Possibly,
it gets us
yeah.
to a 4v4. And now you're just wondering, like, when is Infiltrator going to try to actually execute here with what you figure would be a Dimensional Drift? The Gate Crash will come back after the decoy sent over towards Tree. Not going to fold the defense as Blue Otter's already making their way back. Annihilation out. Paranoia trying to stop any action on the site itself. As the Dimensional Drift gets the read. Can you thread the needle? Yes, you can. You find one in the corner. All of it pinged, all of it tagged. That barrier, or that grab net rather, was solid, but it's just too late. And speaking of too late, it's also too little. Blue Otter will fall 13-6, 13-9. Winthrop University, after getting a little cute yesterday versus Envy, take care of business, and they will make their way into playoffs.
They qualify too. As we talked about it, this was very labored for the side of Winthrop University, but a much-needed win that's going to give them a lot of confidence moving into the playoffs. Unfortunate there for Blue Otter that they were so close, but no cigar. But that also comes down to a couple of roster changes that happened last minute in the last few weeks too that maybe made things a little bit more difficult. Lack of practice maybe to set up in a series here against Winthrop University.